What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to part 109, nope, sorry, 77 of Let's Play Europa Universalis for Third Odyssey. Only God Can Save Us. Well, this would be a good part, but I'm pretty sure me doing that will indicate that this is going to be indeed the end of the series as a whole. And the reason I'm doing that is because I've got to the point where I'm literally just playing because I don't want to start a new Let's Play because Emperor's around the corner, but with the new release of the Warhammer coming out on the 21st, so in 2 days it'll be out, in 3 days I'll be able to do Let's Plays it. I am going to end this and put it up to a vote. We'll see what you guys, or not a vote, but more like suggestions of what you guys want me to play in ET. Give me dates, give me time, like give me the year, give me the countries, and I want Let's Plays that I can just do a short goal in and finish and get move on to Emperor. I have campaigns for Emperor pretty much already planned out that I'm going to do. I've got 2 of them that I know I'm going to do. And I'm not going to say what they are, but then neither of them are extremely hard, and they are close to each other, but I will be doing them back to back because it's just that they've got some changes, so I don't give a shit, I'm doing them. But I just need to just give me a year, give me a country, and if I like the idea, I'll do it. If I don't, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do something I want to do. I'm not going to, fuck about that way. But I'm going to give you guys we're going to go, I'm going to try and keep this interactive. I'll try and, zoom in, zoom out, and as obviously we get bigger and all that shit. But, yeah, this is going to be pretty much just the last part of this ever. I will probably do Third Odyssey once Emperor's out and it's updated. I will actually indeed be doing that because I still need to do Spartania and Markland, but I may do Elysia. I don't know if there's going to be any changes because of the new Catholic change, and maybe they might integrate some up the stuff of the stuff from that new Emperor DLC into it. I don't know what they've got planned. I haven't asked. I mean, I really wouldn't. There's no way I would ask. I just like to be surprised. So, without further ado, let's knock this onto medium. We've got a lot of years to go through, so already. We've expanded in Europe. We've expanded to the key provinces, and that's where we had a really good war. We took out those 2, and then I think we had a really good war. We took out the other 3 people around us. Yes, there it is. It took us a while to get there. Now, this was a pretty slow start as Elysia for me. We did a lot better in the original 3 playthroughs I've done of Elysia. Purely because in this one it was so many changes that I was a bit overwhelmed and a bit under knowledgeable on them, and that I didn't take them as seriously, and I pretty much just assumed I could play the way I used to play, which you can do. It's just being hyper aggressive isn't what I brought with me didn't fit my playstyle. I didn't have enough supplies to instantly do what I normally do, which is be super aggressive, be hyper aggressive in some cases, and try and take the entirety of the coast before Vinland even formed. Which typically you can get the majority of the coastline down to probably about here before Vinland's formed. But Vinland seems to form a lot quicker now, and already Spartania's popped, which is really good. They've been there for a few because it's normally Sparkaton. But I'm trying to focus on myself. We'll go on this speed for... No, that's way too slow. I'm trying to keep it... I'm trying to do a little bit of a commentary because I like the idea of talking over this. A lot of other players do it. As you can see, the Iroquois, this is where the Iroquois is really strong. So we'll probably stop around 1550 and have a look at the world, see what's changed, see what's new, see how Europe's doing. Caecladia is now colonizing, and so is England. So, yeah, the Catholics have started to get over here. The West Indies has formed. So it's 1550, it's November. As you can see, we've already lost a northern colonial war to the Vinlandic, and they've already started again fucking us over here and over here. They really did do a good job of grabbing colonies before I could, and they even grabbed colonies in the south. I've never seen such a hyper-aggressive Vinland, which was very, very interesting to play against. It's different. It was definitely fun, though. I will say that I'm hoping Vinland stays as potent in against my hyper-aggression. I mean, if I had a different start, maybe I could have countered the hyper-aggression easily. But the way I played, I was unable to do my own hyper-aggression, and to be fair, they weren't hyper-aggressive. They were just they were hyper together. They were together very well quickly. Let's have a look at Europe. So in Europe, we've got Danish, Russia. So they've obviously integrated the Netherlands. So fucking hell, Norway. The Netherlands region is pretty much shit now that I've talked about this. It's pretty much just an Utrecht region. Bohemia has done a good job up there. The Commonwealth, a major power throughout the entirety of the game until we got involved with them. That's when they really went to shit. France, again, very strong. Spain, really not yet. It's just a puzzle at this point. England doing a great job as well. Naples, I do not remember seeing Naples that strong. They've even got, like, Dalmatia, which is really good. The Ottomans, they kind of forgo some expansion over here, which is pretty unlike them, really. They normally typically favor this region before anywhere above, like, here and over here. Again, the AI changes. It can do different things, but typically it will favor the Levant before it goes anywhere else. Over here is pretty much as you'd expect. Nothing overly interesting. Let's get back to Elysia and let's get back on the timeline. Now we've got a lot of years, so every 150, or like every 100 or so years, or maybe 200, 150, something like that, we'll have a look around. But as you can see, like this is where we begin our colonial fuck you, where we try to kind of counter-colonize, or not counter-colonize, yeah, it is counter-colonize. Counter-colonize them, try and, you know, block them at every vantage point, try and take out anyone we can who is in the way, who would lead us to gaining the land we want. As you can see, they've already took a sizable chunk of North America from us. Not extremely good regions, apart from that one province, apparently, but yeah, they did a lot of, they did what they could to really cut us off. But luckily, we were able to form some sort of border, but again, we lost out where they were able to colonize in here, which was very, very problematic for us. Now, I don't remember the exact year we conquered over here, so I'm actually going to pull out the camera a little bit. As you can see, we're still doing our, and we're basically doing our best to try and block them off over there. I think it was like late 1600s when we invaded and took Armenia, but I'm trying to keep an eye over there. But yeah, as you can see, we've already had our first war with the Vinlandic, because we took everything but this, and we took, you know, the proper borders over there. But as you can see, the wars in the south went a lot better than, obviously, the wars in this region went a lot better than they did with Vinland. Vinland was really potent early on, which is something I'm always surprised by. I'm still surprised by. Yeah, this is at this point, obviously, the British decide to become the Fawn here, which the British remain there longer than Vinland does, which is pretty much just tantamount to me being a bit scared of Vinland. There's Spain popping, which is really nice. And this is where we annex our, we go through like a stage of annexing the 3 vassals we had made. And at some point, I think it's very close now, we're going to be taking that land. Was that it? No. But yeah, so at the moment, this is we stay in like a bit of a status quo because we've already got this land, and we took all this back, which I think was the most recent war. You know, correcting the border there. Now that's still the border state, and there's another war with Vinland popped, where we're pretty much just trying to rebuild the retake. Or, no, not retake. We're trying to take all the clay that we said is ours, which is Elysia or Elysium, and I think it's very soon. There we go. So we can let's stop at 1703. So for the most part, we've pretty much finished off the Americas. We're still missing a few provinces up here there, and we're missing a few of our eventual conquest in this region. But at the moment, even like still no colonizing up here. We've got one vassal left. We've got the British Columbia, who the British were very, very powerful for a long time. They were a bit problematic. I think this is the region. This is the time where Spartania decided to get off their ass, because as we can see, like, it's pretty much just all colonies down here at the moment. There's no one else really there other than a few colonies and, you know, our colony that we took from... Who did we take the colony from? We took it from Spain, a Spain of some sort. I can't remember who, though. And we've also got, obviously, the Gran Canaria. But this is obviously the first exarch we made, and the exarch who became the beginning landing point of the entire invasion point. Because the Ottomans at this point had become quite powerful in the amount of men they had, and I believe they also had a link of alliances that were a bit annoying. The Oiriat did they really did conquer it, and the Timurids, the further the Timurids are alive, and still technically are alive in 2214 is amazing. Obviously the French Australia, Spanish New Zealand, pretty commonplace, I'd say, you know, in the entire thing. Japan's together, but not doing much else. Oh, fucking hell. I really shouldn't record this at 4 in the morning, but whatever. Yeah, and if everyone, like, Yemen is doing good. Like, everyone's doing good. And the fact that, and this is obviously, as we can see, where the Mamluks are deciding to start taking their Levant again. Now, I'm gonna probably focus more like this now, because we know what's gonna happen here. But as we can see, Spartania slowly conquering south, and we can see the Ottomans just bulging their borders massively, which we probably could have beat them in hindsight. We probably could have put enough pressure in to take them out, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure Africa gets set up before we even declare war on them. And as you can see, Spartania is really forging those borders there now. And the Alesia looks so much better. There we go. That was when the war was 1730, when we popped the British out of the Americas, which is when we pretty much finished the Americas. Like, I was going to leave. We've also had that war where we took random land there. That border stayed for a long time. Now, Armenia's up, and so is Persis. And this is where I think this is like the big explosion we had. And I pretty much just ignore Americas for a bit, because I know that, well, no, I'll try and keep it like this. Well, I'll try and pay, a little bit of attention, because I can really do that and it'll be fine. But, yeah, so obviously this is there. That's the big pop of Persis. And then I believe we also think the war against the Ottomans comes very, very soon. There's Africa. I do not know when that happened. I mean, I had my blinders. There it is. There it is. We took Constantinia, and obviously we've grabbed Constantinople for ourselves. Now, at the moment, Cologne and France, if I remember correctly, are our biggest allies. So was Tuscany. Tuscany was one of our biggest allies for a while. And again, Spartania is invading very, very well. There's Egyptus, and we've got Syria. We don't set up. We've also took more land for Persis. It's very hard to comment on that one because it's going to build it too fast. And there's Arabia. Arabia is now set up. So we're coming up to the original end date. And as you can see, I mean, I'll probably stop it at the original end date, even though it's not exactly 150 years. So at the original end date, we took over the Americas, and we barely scratched Europe. We had not done a lot. Now, this is probably the weakest save I've ever had when it came to land I've owned in Europe in 1821 on this mod. This is easily the weakest I've been. And this is the weakest I've been in America. Like, I've been just a bit stronger than this in Europe on the end date in like a personal game, but I owned pretty much the Americas. I did an amazing job of that. But that was fucking ages ago. That was like when I originally started playing the mod. Like, that was that was fucking ages ago. But yeah, so right now, as we see, we start slowly incorporating more land. Commonwealth get a little bit handsy with our land in the Balkans. So we decide to be a little bit douched about it. Now, the land over here stays like that for a long time. And we see Cologne. This is where I think, obviously, we start beginning to decide Cologne's probably not the best ally. And I'm going to go back up to 2-speed just because it's... I could go on 4-speed, but there's no point. And Tuscany does do a bit of expanding under our guidance. That's where Syria popped, and that was Syria's the entirety of the border. Arabia is now near enough complete, just missing a few key provinces. Yeah, this obviously the Ottomans are destroyed, and then we set up Pannonia, and we also set up Megala Crimea. Spartania again just conquering South America slowly but surely. Africa got a bit bigger with a war against Spain. Persis is now one of its biggest size. Again, another war with the Ottomans right there. Oh fuck! I was gonna go down to speed. At this point, Africa is like the main concern, and we've also formed Italia, who'd already been formed in, of course, Malta. Again, the biggest issue is obviously France and Cologne, but I'm pretty sure we take out, we form Spania before we even touch either. I do not remember even when we attacked Tuscany, to be honest. But as we can see, obviously Constantinia is near enough. It's been fully formed in the east. It's just waiting for its western provinces to be granted. Egyptus is done. Arabia is again missing only a few provinces that were pretty much held back because of the Ming's tributary system. Now, obviously, we've got the Anno Germania. Again, we haven't attacked Cologne yet, as far as I remember. Then was another war with the Commonwealth, which formed Vendai and gave all Megala Crimea its land. Or Chimeria, sorry. At this point, we're at the 1900s, and again, Spania has been formed. And I believe this is around the time where some of you wanted me to do some global wars, and I think the closest I got was a big war between, I think it was France and with me against like Tuscany, France, and Cologne. As you can see, obviously, Italia has already grown again. I'm missing a lot of the event because I can't actually remember the exact dates I've done most of this. I'm trying to give you the best up-to-dates I can knowing what we've done. There was a good period of calm there, and again, then we've expanded Vendai, Magalia, Germania, Spain, Spania. We've expanded all of them in Europe. We've gained Constantinia, again, more land of its own. They were the biggest problem before Francia showed up. And again, Spartania is doing an amazing job of just slowly butchering people who can't really defend themselves. And Francia was formed quite a long time before we ever gave it much land. Now, if I remember, yeah, there's some Cologne being, you know, mega douche. Oh, was that when I took land from Cologne? I think that was the first war with Cologne where I took land. Yes, it was. Actually, yeah, I think that was the war with Cologne. I can't remember. But no, that was the Savoyard War. I think that was a war with Cologne as well, but we didn't take much land. We took as much as we could, of course. Still no war in the New World. Sorry, in Elysium yet, but again, they came very late for us. Now, in 1950, we'll have a quick look at the world, see what's happening. Again, Spartania doing more conquering down there. I think there's a very big war coming up soon. I can't remember exactly when it is. There's a big war for our land in Europe, but it's not happened just yet. So obviously in the Americas, Finland has pretty much just been relegated to Canada and hasn't really been able to complain. They've grabbed lands in Africa and obviously in the Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, but they've not really done much else. Spartania has pretty much just kept to the Americas and slowly but surely eating up every single colony because it doesn't need to go to war with the overlords to do the wars. So they've got that going for them. Tuscany and Cologne are setting up rather large colonies down here. Tuscany probably to escape me, Cologne because they can. Same with the British. They've done a good job there as well. But yeah, the world is pretty much the same. The big thing is these guys got their ass handed to them by, I believe, both by Scandinavia and by the Timurids. But, you know, they did what they did. Now, there it is. There's the first war with Cologne. That way we took a lot of land. We expanded Vendai, Pannonia, and Anno Germania. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Give us about there. Because all we need to really see is actually about there. That's perfect. Don't remember what we did next. I know, obviously, we finished Africa a while ago. Italia took some more land from Cologne. And then, that's right, Cologne was forced to spit out Bohemia, who we then immediately vassalized because we could. That's pretty much how we did it. What was the next war? I think Italia's grown again. I can't remember why. It was a Cologne war. And yeah, we started grabbing land. And Cato, Germania, and Francia were given some more land. Scandinavia has been attacking Cologne, obviously, at the same time as we have. Pannonia grew a little bit more there because Hungary was spat out and we destroyed them. So it's already in 2012, and again, there it is. That's when the biggest thing happened. Spania was being formed, and Francia, we took a lot more land from them, and which was really, very good for us. We'd already had our first one in the Americas at that point to grab pretty much the gold. Nothing overly serious, we just wanted more gold. To try and keep our income up, because, you know, and there's Balticos and Moesia, two of our other vassals being formed. Now, at this point, we're only Scandaz and, we're Scandaz, Albion, and Russia away from forming all of our patriarchs, exarchs. And there's the Timurids doing a really good job there, being a douche. And this is where we've singled out Cologne as a single target for us and no one else. Same with France. We've pretty much made it so that only we can attack them whenever we want. If I remember correctly, the next France war is pretty much when we absorb them. There it is. Yep, Francia is now completely full. Sarmatia is now full, and nearly full, and Russia is in existence. Now, I know the Scandinavian wars happened really quickly. Like, we destroyed, there's the first one. And I believe that the next war is the only one we waited on the truce. I think we may have made maybe another war we waited for the truce to expire before we just declared war and dicked them over. But as we can see, like pretty much there's Anglia being formed. As we can see, though, all of the southern, like inland states have pretty much been formed first, and that was when Anno Germania and Magalia Germania was finished being formed. Baltikos got finished off. Skandaz was formed, and if I can remember correctly, again, the next war is not far off. Like, there it is. Yep, it was this. This is pretty much where we started war decking them constantly, trying to take as much land as physically possible, as quick as possible to try and end the game. And yep, there's the next one. And again, it was less than 100 years ago now. We're getting very close to the end. Anglia is near enough formed. There it is. It's just formed. Russia. This is where Russia stayed for a while because they were having rebellion problems. And I believe this is when I turned to the Americas and decided to be a douche over there because I had nothing else to do in Europe. Apart from, you know, babysit. And we babysit for a while over here. We had an army here and an army up here. And I believe we also then had an army over here in this region as well. But with pretty much everyone in Europe formed, apart from Russia, we had to turn our army's attention somewhere because I was getting bored. And there's the last of Scandinavia, and I believe we just conquered some land. Yep, we conquered Laconia at this point, and Kaikinitsa, or Chikinitsa. I like saying Kaikinitsa because it sounds cooler. And there's Russia completed. All of the Ural Mountains under their control. And there's our first war of Vinland, and we bitch-slapped them. I believe the next war with Spartania is coming up. I believe there's 2 more wars, I think. Yeah, it was 1 war to there, and the last war... Oh, no, that was... The last war was the current war we are currently fighting in the game that I'm never going to finish, which doesn't really matter to me, to be fair. The last war, if I remember correctly, is just this one here. Where, yep, it's very close now, where we finish, and then we'll have a look at the land. I was meant to stop at, like, 2100, but at this point, there was no reason to. There we go. That is the Aletian Empire at full span. Spartania did not finish its colonizing of South America because we got involved and we declared war on them. So they... Oh, no, they did. Wow. They did. They took them... Wait, let's get out of this mode. I never realized they near enough finished it. Well done, Spartania. Well done. But this is how the world's ended. Yeah. I mean... We did pretty good. Again, because we used so much extra time, though, it doesn't really count. But anyway, like, I don't know. I don't know if I've said this yet, but I hope you guys did enjoy the campaign. And again, I'm glad that I did take it longer, but at the same time, I'm going to do my best to limit campaigns that I ever take past the end date, purely because, again, like I've said, the real fun is with doing stuff within the end date. Once you remove the end date, it's no longer fun. The only reason the extended timeline is fun is because you can challenge yourself different challenges because you've so many different start dates. Although, do go join the ET Discord because there's a lot of cool guys over there and they have a good laugh. I don't have a link for the Discord, but you just search, just go to the extended timeline on Steam Workshop. Also the Third Odyssey. I really should be saying that because this is a Third Odyssey video. Do go follow their, join their Discord as well. Again, loads of cool guys over there. Lots of discussions, lots of fun stuff. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll grab a link for both of them. The Third Odyssey will be the top one. ET will be below. Again, I want ideas for short countries to play as or short challenges in ET. Give me a start date. Give me a country. Again, I'll only really play it if I'm interested. Also, I find it amusing because I'm going to be changing my focus to Warhammer in the coming days because the new DLC is out and I've really missed Warhammer. I'm really gonna get myself some good content on that. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this series, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, either at Emperor or an extended timeline. I'll see you guys then.